Yes, ma'am. Start, ma'am.
Welcome everyone to this evening session of meditation. As most of you know that this method of meditation is called Anapanasati. Ana is inhalation, Apana is exhalation, Sati is to be with our breath. So during
Yes, ma'am.
meditation,
Start, ma'am.
welcome everyone to this evening session of So this method is called Anapanasati, as you all know. So during meditation, we will be with our natural rhythm of breathing. So we observe how the subtle air goes in, how the air comes out. But then, as we do our daily activities, we will not observe our breath. But during meditation, we keep our complete attention on our natural breathing. So there is no withholding of breath or there is no deep breathing. It is normal, natural breathing that we observe. So what happens during this observation of or keeping complete attention of our breath is we become empty minded. During this point called null point or cosmic point, we absorb maximum amount of energies. So this cosmic energy is very much necessary for every person on this earth, whether it is a doctor, teacher, school going, college going children, grandparents, or your parents. Everyone needs to do this meditation this hour. Okay, so we are getting so much of distraction around. Our energy is running out of balance. So to bring back that balance of energy, we have to meditate. So for that extra piece of energy that is required by us, whether it is studies or our job or social relationship or regular family relationships, we need this energy to have a balance all over. Okay, so for our all-round development, this meditation is so much required. Okay, masters. So whoever is wearing spectacles can keep them aside. Clasp both the hands like this, fingers of both the hands like this. Keep it gently on your lap. Now gently close your eyes. Keep your backbone as straight as possible. So let us meditate for about 15 minutes, and until I say okay, nobody should open your eyes. So this collective meditation is so very good, and I tell that everyone should get involved in group meditations because collective consciousness is such a great thing. It gives us whole lot of benefits. Okay? Okay, masters. Okay, masters. Please keep both the hands gently on your eyes. Now open your eyes gently. Okay, masters. Today I would like to share something about decision making. So it's important for any person to have that, to recognize that we have the capacity of making right decision. So taking the thing of making decision by themselves is to have half the power. Although it might be wrong in the beginning, maybe after a few experiences that you make the correct and apt decisions for your life. But to take the privilege of making the decision all by yourself, which is related to your own life, is very much needy. See, we cannot depend every time on others for making decisions of our life. Their perception is different, their life is different, their willpower is different, their karmic account is different, their capabilities are totally different. So if you ask any question that is related to you, to him, maybe he will not tell the correct decision. Later on, you follow the decision which was given by the other person, and if it does not work, then you will start blaming that person. And again, you will go to unhappy status. Again, your soul power depletes. You make some other decision because you are having the depleted soul. You cannot take the decisions on your own. You depend on others. Again, it may not work. So this vicious cycle, unhappy, blame, unhappy, and blame again. This keeps on working in the lives of people who cannot make their own decisions. So following rules is different. 2 plus 2 is 4. But for the problems of a person who is facing the problem, their life is different from the lives of other people. For example, you can be thick-skinned. You may not take the words of others. If somebody scolds you or if something happens, you don't mind it. You just move on. But some people are very sensitive. They cannot take words as you could do it. So their position, their willpower, their capacities are different from yours. I can give you another example. A person who walks every day for 1 or 2 kilometers, say for 2 kilometers, cannot ask the other person also to do the same thing. Maybe he is not that capable of running or walking as fast as you do. And if he decides the same thing that whatever you are doing, he also does. And maybe he collapses on the road. There are chances. So whatever decision they make, they themselves should make. Like there is purity in our soul. It's a soul quality. Happiness is our soul quality. Power is our soul quality. Love is our soul quality. Okay? Wisdom is our soul quality. Likewise, decision-making power. Power is our soul quality. So, Naturally, decision-making power is our soul quality. There is nobody on this earth who cannot make his own or her own decision. Everyone, every soul has the power of making correct decision. So I would also like to narrate a story about sheep and lion. Many of you would have heard about this. How to know that we are really potential? So there was a lion which was pregnant and it gave birth to the cub and it immediately died. Okay. So this lion cub was roaming here and there. It was motherless. It came across a herd of sheep. So the mother sheep took pity on the cub. It nourished the cub by giving its own milk. So this lion cub did not know who its mother was nourished by and nurtured by a sheep. So it got along with the herd of sheep. Of course, its sound was quite different from what the sheep actually makes. Its appearance naturally was different, but still it was behaving like the sheep. It was making the voice like ba, ba, like the sheep. It was eating the grass like the sheep. But originally, a lion roars. Lion does not eat grass, isn't it? It hunts and eats only flesh of other animals. So it was happening that it moved wherever the sheep went. It was in the herd of the sheep, playing with the lambs of those sheep, and wherever the sheep herd went, this lion cub also was following. The other sheep of the herd also were making fun of this lion cub because it was weird looking. It was not looking like sheep. It was a lion. So that lion cub would not mind because it had no other choice other than to be with the sheep. One day, a bigger lion, some other lion, pounced on the herd of sheep. So it wanted to catch hold of one of the sheep. All the sheep ran away. This lion cub also was running away, making the same sound, ba, ba. Then the bigger lion was so much wonderstruck why this lion cub is running away, because it belongs to my family. Why is it so scared? Then it somehow managed to pounce on that lion cub to know why it is running. Then the lion cub said, "Please let me go. I am so scared of you. Please let me go. I am a sheep." The bigger lion kept on telling, "You're not a sheep. You're lion." "No, no, I am sheep. I am sheep." It kept on screaming that, "I am sheep. I am sheep." Then the bigger lion got wild. It dragged that lion cub near a lake and it made to see its face. It was similar as that of bigger lion, and it was also reminded of the other sheep which made fun of this lion cub. So that is why those sheep were making fun of me, because I don't look like sheep. I look like this animal. So the bigger lion also taught the lion cub to roar. So it made an attempt and it could make such a big roar. And it was so much thrilled with the sound that it made. Then it came to know that it was not a timid animal. It was a strong, powerful animal, 1,000 times powerful than the sheep. Okay, so to recognize that we are powerful, a bigger lion may not come. It's true that we have a lot of potentialities, lot of powers in us. This is a story that depicts that human beings are lot more powerful than they think themselves to be. They think that they are weak. So this, as other powers, as in every class, I keep telling that we have hidden talents. For the talents to surface, we have to keep silent. We have to make a journey inward. Likewise, you have to make a journey inwards to make correct, sudden decisions about your life. So, I would also like to tell a story to know when we have to make the decisions. See, when we are very angry, when we are upset, when we are feeling very low, if we happen to make decisions, important decisions of our life, then it's not going to work. See, we have to make let me tell you about this story. One day Buddha was traveling with his disciples. So it was his work to travel from one town to another, keep preaching meditation and wisdom to all. So it happened that it was a midday. He started feeling thirsty. So he asked one of the disciples to fetch water for him from the nearby lake. So that disciple went to that lake to fetch some water. By then, Buddha and other disciples were sitting under the tree. So when this disciple was about to take water from the lake, one bullock cart happened to pass inside that lake. So the water became so muddy, it was not thing to drink that water. It was not clean. It was muddy. So he came and told Buddha the same thing. Because of the bullock cart, the water became too muddy and it was not correct for fetching the water. So Buddha asked the disciple to sit for a while. So the disciple sat for half an hour. And now Buddha asked to go and get the water. So he went to fetch the water. All mud had settled beautifully at the bottom of the lake. The water was so pure that he could see his image clearly on that water. So he got that water to drink, and other disciples also drank that water. Now Buddha asked the disciple to tell what he learned from that incident. He could not understand. Then Buddha explained. See, whenever there is agitation, there is frustration, there was some disturbance in the lake and all the mud had emerged up. So the water was not clear. Same way, when we have the thoughts of the past emerged into our mind, the mind will be agitated and frustrated. Even if we bring into our mind the unnecessary thoughts, then also there will be a lot of disturbance in the mind, as there was disturbance in the muddy water. So we have to settle all the mud. All the unnecessary thoughts should be settled. Then in that pure, clean mind, if you make any decision, that will be correct decision. So that is the time that you have to make the decision. So To settle the mind, what you have to do? You have to close your eyes and meditate. So the inner self will project the apt decision that is required. Okay, so I would also like to tell about the thoughts that we produce behind the decision that we make. So let's take an example. You want to, since this is children program, I will give you this example. Your school has decided to take you all to an excursion that year. So you go and tell the same thing at home that you want to go to the excursion. So your parents were not willing to send you to that excursion because of some problem, like maybe it is a financial problem, or you might be having some other program during that period. The reason may be anything. Then they will let you to decide whatever you want. So you take the decision. For example, you make the decision of not going to excursion that year because your parents not willing to send you for the excursion. So you go and tell the same thing in the school that you're not attending or you're not participating in that school excursion. But while your friends are going to that excursion, you might feel so horrible. My parents don't have courtesy. They didn't send me to excursion. How nice it would have been if I also participated in the excursion. So your parents asked you to take the decision of whether to go or not. You took this decision, you made this decision of not going. But what is the thought behind your decision? Blaming, complaining about. I'm just telling, it's not that a particular child will do it or not. It's the thing that we do it in everyday activities. That we don't check the thoughts behind our decision. We make the decision. Okay. So you complain. Here in this example, you complain parents for not sending you to that excursion. You miss your friends. Yes. So when you make some decision, you will have to face the repercussions of that decision. Whether you decide opposing your parents and go and attend the school excursion, that will have its own repercussions. If you obey your parents, then that will have its own repercussions. So when you obey your parents, you tell that you miss the enjoyment, you miss your friends, you miss the gala time. Say, for example, you go to excursion opposing your parents, you make the decision that you are adamant and you go to that excursion. So during that excursion, you might think, maybe this decision was not correct. Maybe it is troubling my parents. So either you blame yourself or you blame your parents. So if you make any decision, the thought behind your decision should be positive. Say, for example, in this matter, you decide not going to excursion because your parents were not willing to send you to that excursion because of their own problem. Then you decide not to go. Okay. So how should be your thought behind this decision? I love my parents. I respect my parents. I feel that whatever I do should bring happiness to them. Okay, so everyone should be happy, and I trust my parents, and I trust that whatever they take the decision will be correct for me. So I decided not to participate in this program. Okay, then that empowers your soul, and you will become an individual who can make correct decision for yourself. Okay, so you oppose the parents and go for an excursion. Say, it's not that you have to obey your parents and do work. You have to take the decision which empowers your soul. You oppose your parents and go for the excursion. There you should not feel the guilt that you disobeyed your parents. You should be in the present moment. There also completely enjoy, thoroughly be in the excursion, not repenting for the decision that you make. Okay, you may have the thought that maybe my parents will understand later. No, this period was very essential. I may not meet my friends later. So I took the decision of participating in this program. So it was correct. So the thought behind this decision should be positive. There should not be any bitterness. There should not be any blame game. Okay, and you should be fully clear. See, there are two things: clarity and confidence. Only confidence is not okay. Clarity and confidence will empower your soul. Okay, so we have to understand with full awareness what is the thought behind our decision. Okay, so sometimes all the times people go and ask, what decision should I make? Say, for example, you have a dilemma of taking commerce or science. Go and ask a person, okay, who is weak in academics. He will tell, why you want to spend all the while studying? You have to enjoy, and taking up science will not fetch you anything, because most of the time you will have to put your time into studies. They will tell you to take up arts. Okay, but science is a subject of understanding. Arts is a subject of memorizing events. Maybe you are weak at memorizing events. Maybe you have the most capability of understanding things. Maybe science is easy for you than arts. For that person, arts is easier than science, because he has the capacity of memorizing things than capacity of understanding. So each person will have their own capabilities and capacities. We cannot depend on other person's perception for your decision. Okay, so whenever people also go to these sages to ask about their marriages, about the jobs, about making the relationships. Okay, even for they also ask sages when they have to build the house. They will all be ready with money, resources, everything to start the building, but they still go and ask that sage. So if that person tells some time, they will start the building at the same time when he has told. But if something happens, they again blame that sage for telling that time. whatever the time that he had prescribed. If something happens to the building, they will blame that sage. So whenever you take the decision according to some other person, something happens in your life, you will start blaming them. Okay. Otherwise, you take the advice, you will have to be ready to take the responsibility for your own decision. You can just take the suggestions, you can just refer to the advice they have given. Okay. But the responsibility of taking the decision should be totally yours, because later you need not blame others. So when you say, I was helpless, I was forced in my house to take this decision, so I am this today. Otherwise, my life would have been much more better. Okay. If you have this notion, please change it, because this disempowers your soul and also the other person whom you are blaming. Both the person's soul power will be depleted. Okay. First thing, you have to contemplate on the choices that you have to make. Okay. Make the priority list of what you can do in any small decision or big decision. When in childhood, if you make decision, you will have independent life. You will make the right decision in every phase of your life. From childhood, if you depend on others for making decisions, then you will not be self-reliable. You always rely on others for making decisions, and it will not be correct decision. If you also do the work like how it was decided by others, the work that you do will not be 100% correct. It will not yield you any result, because with little soul power that you have started the work, and again you will have to blame that person for that. Okay. So the decision making should be completely yours, and you should be responsible for making the decision. Anytime you should not blame others for making that decision. Okay. You should never tell, because of them I am like this. You should say, it was my choice. Somebody comes and tells you, why did you wear this color shirt? Why did you buy this color shirt? Why did you buy this colored frock? Okay. Whatever clothes that you are worn, you should always say, it is my choice. I like this color, and so I'm wearing this dress. You should not say, it was selected by my father. I was not liking this. Since he said I'm wearing, is it not nice? Even I did not like. So that depletes your soul power. These are all subtle things that we have to be aware of, because only meditation will not gather cosmic energies. This subtle awareness that we practice in our life is very, very, very important. That's how you can gather the power, and you can always conserve the power that you have gathered. That empowers your soul, and you will be an evolved soul. Okay. You will always be independent, and whatever you think, whatever you speak, whatever you do will be completely guided by your own soul, and it will be always correct. Okay. So you should be responsible for whatever you think, whatever you speak, whatever you do. So when somebody tells, why did you buy this colored shoes? Why did you buy this type of jacket? Okay. You should always say, it's my choice. I am happy with this. Always, for any of the things that they question you, you should never blame others. You should change the thought of blaming. Maybe it was to make your parents or siblings or friends happy that you bought it, but you should say that you are happy. Their happiness is important for me, and so I am also happy, and so I am wearing this. Okay, you should not say that although I did not like to keep their word, I had to, I was forced to, I was helpless. All these thoughts behind your decision. You are wearing the same dress, there is no change in that, but you are blaming others and you are wearing. That's where you have to bring a change in your thought. You should always tell, it's my choice, it's my choice, it's my choice. I am happy with this, I am happy, and so I am doing this, I am wearing this, I am like this. At any time in your life, you should not blame anybody. And in this world, there is nobody to blame. This is the rule. A person who follows this rule will be 100% successful. Okay? There is nobody to blame in this world. I gave you the example of excursion. You can also bring into your mind many incidents that happen in our daily life. Okay, so in each and every circumstance, we have to take the responsibility for the decisions that we have made for ourselves. And also, we can advise anybody, and we should not make the decision for others. Otherwise, we are again karmically bound. Maybe the decision that they made, when you say you should do like this, don't think any second thought. Please do this, do this, do this. Then if they do according to your words, and if it does not fix their life, then your karma will be fixed. So you should just advise each other. Say that I don't recommend, or if I were to be in your position, I would do this. And please think over. Make your own decision. We should always inspire children or anybody to make their own decision. Okay? We should ask them to sit for a while, settle all the mud, all the unnecessary thoughts, then ask them to make their own decisions. I will also tell you one small story where a girl escapes from the clutches of the rich man. If there was a poor farmer, he had to owe a lot of money to that landlord. That landlord was old, he was very cunning also. But this farmer could not repay the money he had owed to him. So the landlord said, anyway, this life, you're not going to pay my money back. So I'm thinking of something. So farmer asked what he was thinking of. He said, you have a beautiful daughter. Why don't you marry her to me? So that I let go all your debts. You need not pay one paisa also to me. So the farmer was reluctant, but still he was helpless. He went and asked his daughter. Daughter was not at all ready. She was very young, very beautiful. She was not ready to marry the cunning old landlord. So she said, no. Same thing, farmer went and said to the landlord that she is not ready to marry. Then the landlord said he's going to give some choice to her daughter. He said that he's going to put 2 stones inside a bag, one black and one white stone. If that girl picks up white stone from the bag, he is going to let go all the debts, and that girl need not marry the landlord. If she picks up the black stone, then also he will let go all the debts, and that girl should marry the landlord. If she picks up white, no debts, no marrying. If she picks up black stone, then she had to marry, but no debts. So there were 3 choices in front of that girl. She had to accept to take some stone from the bag. If she says no, then the landlord would trouble her father. So if she takes the white stone, then the debts will be let gone. If she had to pick up the black stone, then she had to marry the person whom she didn't like to marry. Then they went to a place where there were so many pebbles. This landlord took one bag. Then he explained the same thing to both of them. They agreed. Then he said that he's going to put 2 stones into the bag. So when he picked up the stones, the girl observed that he was putting 2 black stones inside the bag instead of 1 black and 1 white stone. So she could understand the cunningness of that landlord. Now he asked the girl to pick up the stone. Now it was a crucial time for her to decide whether to pick up the stones. If she says that the landlord was cunning, then also he would not let her father. Landlord would not let her father if she proves him to be cunning. So what she did was she took the stone and dropped it immediately on the grounds. She said, "Oh, sorry, landlord, I could not hold the stone. By mistake, it slipped down." So she said, "Don't worry. We can check into the bag. We can check whether the stone is black or white. If the stone that is remaining is white, I would have thrown the black stone. If the stone that is remaining in the bag is black, then I would have let the white stone." So they checked in the bag. It was black stone because there were 2 black stones in the bag. Now the landlord could not do anything for himself. He had to accept for the things that he had himself told. And since there was a black stone in the bag, they had to consider the other stone was white. And so said the landlords left both of them go. So the girl sat for some time for meditation. She meditated for some time, and see, the decision that she made saved her life and also her father's life. Okay, masters, I think I have told enough about decision making and the thoughts behind each person's decision. Would you like to ask any questions, or would you like to share your experiences?
Yes, mom. So I had meditational experiences, mom. So I kept crystal in my hands, then I meditated, mom, for 30 minutes, I think so. Then the crystal started passing the energy to my hands and to all my body, and then something energy is passing through my head, mom.
Very nice experience. Great, Nikhila. So that crystal has worked. right? Was there any
Yes,
difference without crystal and with crystal?
yes, ma'am. With crystal, I can feel that energy in my hands, and then when I put crystal in my hands, and then when I was in going in the meditation very deeply, I can't feel my hands, and then I can't feel that crystal is in my hands that way.
Nice experience, Nikhila. Did you hear
Thank
to
you.
the topic today?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you learn?
When we make a decision, behind that, the thought have to be positive.
Mm, yes. Otherwise, it will deplete the soul energy.
So, yes,
Yeah. So always the thoughts behind our decisions should be positive,
positive.
and you should be responsible for whatever decisions that we should not blame others. Okay,
Yes.
Nikhila, nice. Okay. Thank you, Nikhila.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else?
Thank you very much, ma'am, for a
Thank you.
wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. I
Value.
think nobody is lifting the hand.
Yes, ma'am. They have understood very well, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Once again.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, children. See you tomorrow.